What's up, people? It's your boy Jatwa. I'm here today in Kerbal Space Program. Oh my god, again, yes, I know. But today we have a nice little coloration mod. This one's called Dark Textures that I'm going to be playing with as well. And the rest of this is all stock. This is actually a stock aircraft. It just looks badass with the different colorations and also that gold tint from the normal tanks. So we're going to go ahead and turn this bad boy on and see what it does. Alright, so here we are lifting off our craft. We're going to turn this down a bit. Caps lock is go. Some people say, why are you using caps lock to lift off your aircraft? Because if you build your aircraft just right, you don't have to worry about using doing harsh maneuvers to lift your craft upwards. This one though is going to need all the runway I can give it. So let's make sure that we scoot right down the center here. And I was really worried about this one because this right here, the weight in the front on this one is a bit dramatic. And this one is a very odd shaped craft, to be said, well, simply, it is very strange. It looks more like a boat cushion, like a boat that would be on the water than anything else. Let's test out the maneuverability and see what we got from this thing. It is mostly tanks. Now, there is of course no lift that's going on these fuel tanks that I'm using, so that makes this a very risky sort of aircraft design. So anytime I roll the craft, I am anticipating it will plummet down. We're going to go ahead and set our authority up even higher up front there, because I want it to be able to nice and easily go forward like so. So yeah, this is an odd design. I've been spending most of my time these last few days designing really nice, sleek looking aircraft, and then this one comes up and it is not sleek, it is just interesting. And I see that if I move that up to 150, I actually can get better reaction, better lift from it. Of course, because I am increasing the range it can actually go. But the craft has a bit of a dip to it in the front, because all the weight is basically up front. Everything else is very little is in the rear there. So getting it to actually go back up, I have nothing in the front to actually force it up. So I'm kind of just using very little lift in the back to control this thing to make it flip up. I can actually come here and set this pitch to on as well, and that would give me a little bit more control over this beast. It actually flies pretty well with these Panthers on there. I have not tried it with any other engine configuration, so yeah, usability, mileage may vary, I should say. But yes, it is actually going pretty well. I just want to see if I can fly it over to the island base, because this one is very odd and interesting. Let's go ahead and bring up all the stat information like I showed you guys how to do last time, if you were paying attention. Yes, maybe, no, you were not. No one was. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to Aero. Let's move this because I need to see if I'm going to smash into the hillside or not. And we're going to display all of this. Oh dear. Come on. Oh, yikes. So let's look at our total drag. Total drag is... we're actually pretty low. We total drag at max at level flight is going to be around 90. Not bad. 92. We're starting to go down a bit here. 84. I see it drop down to. So we're trying to see what the minimal is. So we'll say about 84. We could probably do a lot better with a better design, but I haven't really focused on that. That's going to take some time to nail down. Let's see if I can get it right there. Perfect. Okay, that right there is total drag of, we're at 94. So 94 at nice steady flight. And you can see this craft is actually, that angle it's at is actually pushing itself up. So we're losing quite a bit of thrust due to the design of this aircraft, which still is not too shabby with this really wonky design that we have going on here. Just get the ABs and let's see if we can drag ourselves around here. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Alright, so our lift to drag ratio is about 2 or 3, yeah, not too bad. And our climb rate, you see there, is always dropping to the negatives because our design is pretty bunk on this one. So yes, our aircraft needs a lot of retweaking. This is a really strange looking airplane, and I just kind of built this one randomly, but I also wanted to check out some of the additional stats on here. We're going to slide this over here so you guys can see it as well, because I always have my ugly mug over here in the corner. Hello. Yeah, that's me, I'm sorry. But yes, this aircraft is interesting. Now, one of the things I've seen that's kind of odd here is I think they put they kind of, on dark textures, they kind of bollocksed up the flag area, the flag decal. So instead, it looks like they placed the window right there, because that's part of the window that happens on a different texture, because that textures are often reused. So that's kind of weird to see that there. It's kind of an odd design now, but maybe they'll get that corrected in the next version. Maybe a little oversight, I don't know. This happens to be my favorite cockpit, so I always seem to use it. And looking at everything from the inside, it looks really nice, like a nice sleek, well, it looks like a boat. It totally looks like a boat. But nonetheless, there you go. We have a pretty nice, sleek looking aircraft, and it definitely needs a lot of work to be a nice aerodynamic, sweet performing aircraft, but nonetheless, it is a nice little fun design. Now, do you want to see something that actually would work? And I want to see the stats on that one. Alright, so what you're seeing right here is the JDSA Dark Horse. We're going to go ahead and bring this bird out here. This one is the beauty of my pack. It is definitely a nice base, a nice, really well thought out design, flows really well, and it is very, very agile. So let's go ahead and get this bird up off the ground. And we're not even going to hit our afterburners. We're just going to take this one out just... Oh, it's so beautiful! Why? Okay, so let's see if we can get it nice balanced out. And let's see what our drag is on this one. This one should be really... It should be significantly lower than our previous. Nice solid flat. Total drag, look at that. 56. Way less. Alright, let's flatten it back out, flatten it back out, flatten it back out. A little bit more. 79, 84. 90. Alright, we're adjusting here. Let's go upwards. Let's see. Look at that drag dropping down. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Alright, let's get her flat. And let's see what it gives us. We're at 60 even. 54. See, look at that. That's significantly less. This aircraft is ridiculous. It is a nice, sleek design. Very agile. Our tail actually adds to our pitch control. And we have really fantastic control via the Panthers as well with this aircraft. As you can see, we can actually do some pretty funky maneuvers. And it doesn't affect our craft a single bit. So, yes, this one is pretty BA, and I love this design, and hopefully you have as well. Now, there's one more craft I have today, but it's not one that flies. It's one that belongs in Kerbal. It's one that definitely should have been done already, and I'm glad to add it to my collection of aircraft. And it's also stock. All these have been stock. Weird, huh? Alright, so what you have here is what I like to call a gosh dang classic. Ow! Yes, I happen to be a major fan of the Pontiac Fiero. When I first got my first Fiero, it was a piece of junk. It was a complete rust bucket, but I got it working, I got it running, and I was really happy. And that was probably the happiest I've ever been driving a vehicle. So then, because I remember when I was younger, I remember there's a guy, one of our neighbors actually, he had a Pontiac Fiero, and it was an absolute beauty. Solid black, just a beautiful, really small, sleek car. And every time I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I want one. So when I got old enough to get one, I got one, and it was great. It was a piece of junk. It was completely rust bucket out, but I didn't know it was rusted out until I actually got into start working on it. I got it for $400, so it wasn't a big problem. So after that, I actually waited a while because I finally got to understand how to get cars working. And after that, I got a Ford Fairmont and you know, some other cars. I learned how to work on cars a bit more, and then I bought a second Pontiac Fiero. This one I bought it in North Carolina. And when I bought that one, it was another bit of work. The body was beautiful in this one, no rust. But the battery terminal actually had wood underneath of it. That was the battery box was built out of wood, and the battery itself was scraping against the serpentine belt, which was cutting into the battery and destroying the belt at the same time. Interesting story. There was various other things wrong with that car, including the motor mounts being slapped together. The water pump, oh dear god, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they used the exhaust manifold from a truck, from the S10, which is fine, but at the same time, come on. It was missing bolts. You know what I'm saying? So come on. So there's a lot of funny stories I have with my Pontiac Fiero. My friends did not like my Pontiac Fiero. I barely fit in the Pontiac Fiero. I had to open up the windows to properly fit into the car. And this one actually rides about the way it would ride in real life. Very low to the ground. And if you're wondering how accurate I got it, the engine is actually here in the back, which is the generator. And I have the battery on the side. The vents are here, but they're not really vents. Shh. But yes, this is a completely stock Pontiac Fiero. These parts even here, they're just I-beams twisted inside one another. Yeah, you know, even if Pontiac Fiero, you don't want to go over a speed bump very fast because you are very close to the ground and the suspension does not like you. So yes, if you're wondering where this comes from, this is from Kerbal side. This is the Kerbal campus. Kerbal Constructs has been Kerbal Constructs has been updated, and I grabbed Kerbal Constructs and the full version of Kerbal side, so I have everything included. Air races have been removed, separated out, if I remember correctly, IRC, but nonetheless, it is still a fun place to actually take your rovers out and put them through some trials. So this is my particular rover. You know, put in a link to your replica cars that you have in the comments down below if you have built any, or what is your favorite memory, your favorite vehicle that you have very fond memories of. Like I said, mine's going to be my Pontiac Fiero. Only reason I got rid of it is because, well, the engine died. And I didn't feel like recovering the engine. The engine was a train wreck when I got it. I just managed to get it fixed. I managed to fix it myself, I should say, rather. And after that, I just really didn't have the energy. My arms barely fit in there. It was a nightmare. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed that vehicle. But now I have traded it out and got a motorcycle. But anyhow, if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button, drop me in the comment, let me know what you think. This is our Fiero in the Kerbal campus. We're just going to take a quick screenie because I think that this is a car that's definitely meant to be in Kerbal Space Program, with all the many concerns that they had with the vehicle, the odd engine, the mid-engine that some people like to call the rear engine. It is a mid-engine. There's a lot of issues. People had a lot of issues with it. They were saying that it would catch on fire. Well, the study proved that that was because people didn't like to put the proper amounts of oil in their vehicle, which it does take quite a bit of oil. Also, people like to do really funny, wonky modifications with the Fiero, because on my first Fiero, I learned that whoever had it before thought it was prudent to reroute the fuel, and they had actually routed the fuel over the exhaust manifold. Now, if you know anything about cars, the exhaust manifold is one of the extremely hot parts of a car. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. They had covered it up with aluminum foil. That doesn't make anything better. But anyhow, if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know your favorite car stories. Drop in your comments with your favorite rebuilds you've done. And I hope to catch you guys in the next video. I'm probably going to be doing a different game because I'm feeling a little burned out on Kerbal Space Program right now. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll reinstall Elite Dangerous and see what I have going. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's supposed to be an update for that one. Peace. Soon?